Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Round 2 from this morning, as promised. So yeah, we're going to be continuing on work with the priestess character here. I think the next step is to get, well, probably get her animated and then plug this character into the system that we started building this morning, which already is, yeah, I mean, it's basically like already ready to go. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I think we're in a good spot to get that character animated, and then once that animation is done, we'll have to do all the rest of the stuff like configuring the starting artifacts and the starting cards and all that. But before we get into it, I want to remind everyone that, one second. I want to remind everyone that Alka Mortis is available for wishlisting on Steam. There is a playtest of the game running right now that is available to Patreon members for this week. So if you want to join the playtest, you can subscribe to one of these tiers. You will have a Steam key sent to your email address. And if you subscribe at this top tier for at least 1 month, I'm going to send you an Alka Mortis Steam key when the game launches, and your name will be included in the in-game Alka Mortis credits. But again, the playtest is going to be accessible by everyone starting on Friday, so you do not need to support on Patreon, but it does help me out, and it's a little bit of a nice extra perk. You get more earlier playtest access and more time to do the playtest, because Patreon members will get 2 weeks of access, whereas everyone else is just going to get 1 week. And you can also support me by purchasing one of my Udemy courses. The links for those are in the description below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. And of course, the Discord is linked below as well. So I hope you'll consider doing that, joining that. And if you do end up playing the playtest, please leave me your feedback in the Discord. That would be much appreciated. And let's say hello to everybody. Hello, Snupbill. Thank you for the IDR 10,000 again. Yummers. Thank you, thank you. It's 1:45 a.m. Most likely going to have to go to bed. All right, well, good night to you if you're still here. And thank you again. Very much appreciated. Hello, Bubblegum Lord. Welcome. Welcome back, I should say. Good to see you again. Meep Dev Yummers. Hello, hello. Welcome. All right. All right. I got a little bit of a frog in my throat suddenly. Anyway. So yeah, we're basically ready to get the priestess character in here. So I'm probably just going to loosely copy what I've got here. We'll do a new scene, and we'll call this character priestess, like so. And we will go ahead and save this. Scenes character priestess. Might as well throw a script on here. And just so we have that, game.character. Okay, and the necromancer should be there as well. Cool. Alrighty then. So we've got that going. We do need to dismember this one. Animate her a little bit. So how do we want to do that? Let's see. So this is what the necromancer character's animation looks like. So I'll probably do something similar. Probably take her head. Let's see. This is going to have to be its own thing as well. All right, so let's just start doing this. Let's create a new group. New group, and we'll just do priestess. Okay. Let's take this. And I'm also going to just remove the outlining for now, so it's a little bit easier. Actually, is that going to be easier? Maybe not. Maybe not. So we'll grab this. Actually, yeah, let's remove the outlines. It's going to be a little bit easier, I think. Okay, so we're going to cut that out. We're going to make this, do a new layer here. This will be just the orb or whatever. Probably we'll break this down even more, but that's good for now. We could take this arm here. Let's lock the orb. We'll take this arm. We can do, nope. Arm right. I mean, it's her left arm, but it's all right. Then we'll take this arm here. Let's lock arm right, cut this out. Arm left. Okay, so let's just hide everything that we've got already. That should work. I don't know what we're going to do about the dress part here, but maybe we'll just take the head. Oops, I accidentally locked everything. And maybe we'll just take the torso here a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I do want to add some kind of animation here. We can cut it up more if we need to, but maybe let's just try. We'll take like, I don't know, maybe just like this section of the torso here. And we'll just go ahead and put that in there. Alrighty. And then we've got this, which is just like the dress, I guess. Okay, so torso. So now we put all this on. Okay. So we've got all the pieces of the sprite now. This is probably going to require a bunch of tweaking as well. But let me think about these outlines here. So let's see. So the orb is the easy one. We can just outline that immediately. Actually, I should probably take this apart now. So let's do this, that, this. Okay. We're going to create a new orb ring. Okay. So we're going to outline the orb ring, and then we'll outline the orb. Okay, so that's done. Arm right, we'll outline this one. Arm left. So this is going to be, we don't want, outline that. Outline this. So I didn't have that part outlined, and I don't want any of this outlined either. So just that amount of outlining for the arm left here. And I guess we could do stuff with the layering here. We could put like a little bit of an outline here as well if we needed to, but I'll figure out the layering in a second. Head, this is going to be a difficult one as well because we don't want... Actually, does that look good? We probably don't want that outlining there. And then here we can just fill this in. Okay, so that's the head. And we've got the torso here. Let's see. So we don't want this outline down here. Let's just turn off the arms. Okay. Yeah, that works. And then the dress here. Same thing for the dress. We're going to want to outline it. Fill this in a little bit and then remove this part. Okay, so we've got the character all cut up. We're obviously going to need to... Let me think about this. The orb is going to be interesting to animate, so I may just exclude the orb for now because I want to make this ring go around the orb as like an animation, which means I'm going to have to split this ring into two pieces so that one piece of the ring can show behind the orb and the other one can show in front. I actually don't know how I'm going to animate that, to be honest, but we'll figure it out. But anyway, we're going to get rid of the orb for now. Let's just see if we can get the priestess looking good from an animation perspective, and then we'll focus on the orb separately. Okay. Now what I am going to want to do probably is export this as like a reference so I can align all the pieces and parts. There we go. Export that. We're going to do priestess mockup. Okay, and then what we'll do is file, scripts, export layers. I think that will work. Hello, Emerson, welcome back. The YouTube team is vibe coding too much. Every time I join, I have to wait 1 minute to chat. Oh no. Oh no, a frog, our arch nemesis. There's a frog? Oh, in my throat, yeah. It's time for Game Dev once again. Hello, Jackie Daytona. Welcome back. Alrighty. Oh, I shouldn't have closed that. So we need a visuals node here. Node 2D. Visuals. All right, let's go ahead and grab, let's see, assets, character, priestess. Ah, that's not what I wanted. Export layers. We don't want the layer group name in here. Okay, let's do that again. Hello, Marcos. Good video. It's great. Thank you. Okay, there we go. So we're going to drop the mock-up in here. Get this aligned the way that we need it to be aligned. Make sure that those visuals are going to work. So if I scale this, she should flip sensibly. I think that looks good. Okay, so we got the priestess mock-up here. So now in the visuals, we're going to drag all of these pieces in. I'm going to try to anyway. There we go. Okay, let's take this arm left here. I'm going to set the offset to a sensible location. Drag this over here. Okay, there's our arm left. And these all need to be under the visuals node here. Okay, arm right, offset. That's probably good right there. Yeah, I dig that. Dress, offset. Where would be a good pivot point for this? Maybe something like that. I may have to change that. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. I think that's fine. Head. Okay. And then the torso. Okay, let's turn off the mock-up here. I think that's right. Yeah. Okay, so we've got all the pieces ordered in the way that they should be ordered. Actually, this... No, that's right. I think that's correct. No, there's a little bit of... I think the arm left needs to be in front of the head. There we go. Okay, now we're good. Okay. So I think that's good. I'm just going to go ahead and stage those changes. And then what? Animation player. We've got reset, idle, run. Did I ever end up... I guess I never really gave these root positions. That's probably all right, I guess. All right, let's try this. So let's do a new animation. Idle. Let's start with the head. Keyframe. How long is this idle animation? 1.5 seconds. Okay. Ups. 0.05. 1.5 here. Create some more room in the editor for me. We'll zoom this in. Okay. We want this to loop. Okay, that works. Let's just get the arm going as well. Arm, transform position, create that. Do I want to add a little bit of rotation here? Maybe I do. Let's try it. Don't know how it's going to look. It might look a little bit janky in game, but I don't think maybe rotation is not going to work here. Let's worry about the rotations, I guess, in a little bit. Probably her right hand, though, is going to want to rotate a little bit. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Let's just do the torso as well. A lot of this is just going to be iterating on it. Okay. Nope. That doesn't look right. Let's flip these around maybe. That works, maybe. Could also crunch these down a little bit. Make it a little bit slower. Don't need to make all the animations the same length. Let's try with the arm rotation here. I want it to look like she's doing a little bit of like she's balancing the orb somewhat. Yeah, that looks good. What happens if I turn these all to cubic? Is that going to look good? No, probably not. Do I even need to do anything with the dress here? I mean, I am going to need to probably animate it, but I don't know if I need anything for the idle animation here. The main character looks really short by comparison. Yeah, I'm probably going to update the main character art as well. But we'll see. Now the problem is I don't really have a good way of showing this in game. I guess what I can do to start is I can create my new character resource here. Character definition resource. Priestess. We don't need to worry about any of this stuff because it doesn't matter right now. If we set this to autoplay here, go to the reset animation, and now if I go into the game, I should be able to see her in the character select, I think. Well, that looks pretty good in game actually, but there is a problem here. Container sizing, here we go. Let's do shrink end. See what that does. Why is this so big? Why is that creating such a big bounding box? Oh, let me try something. Character select. Reset the size. I don't think that's going to do anything. I'm wondering if there's some size data that's being carried over inadvertently, but maybe not. Because I think she's too tall, like the bounding box is too tall. Yeah, that didn't do anything. Why is that happening? Works great for the player, it does not work great for her. Although it looks like the bounding box is correct. Like it's bounding her head and her left side correctly, but it's not doing the right side properly. I guess I have to figure out the bounding box again. Why is that not working? It works good for the player. Maybe I was making certain assumptions about the player that were just not correct. Let's see. Runaway pixel. What do you mean by that, runaway pixel? In the sprite layers. Oh, I see. Maybe there's a pixel that's making the bounding box bigger than it is. No, because all of these bounding boxes are correct. So I don't have an inadvertent pixel placed anywhere that's making the bounding box bigger. So that's not a problem. Oh, maybe, oh, the priestess mock-up. Maybe that's the problem. If I delete this. Although that was, well, maybe that was the problem. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, I just had I had that mock-up still in place and that was affecting the bounding box. Okay. Now it's working good. Okay, so now we've got the characters properly bounded within their little clickable controls. I don't really need to do this, but I'm going to anyway. Let's do a separation of 16 instead. Transparent pixels, that's a good idea. Yeah, no, but it wasn't any of that. We got to figure it out though. Okay, perfect. Look at this. Actually, the animation looks pretty good. I have no complaints about that. I don't think I need to move the lower. I mean, his lower portion isn't being moved at all either, so. All right, now let's do the interesting part of the animation for her. I'm just going to commit this basic priestess animation. Okay, alrighty. So let's do the orb now. I think the orb is going to be kind of fun because I'm going to need to do some code for this, I think. So let's just go ahead and add a node 2D for the orb. And then let's go ahead and grab this. So now we've got the orb. So that can be done as its own thing. This orb ring though, this orb ring is going to need to be split in half, I believe. So this one will be called orb ring left, and this one will be orb ring right. And I may actually end up doing 2 rings, but let's see what happens with this. So I've got those. Let's file scripts, export layers. Oops. Well, that should be fine. So that's going to export out those 2 layers for me. I don't know why this takes so long. How's everyone's afternoon going? Everyone doing good this afternoon? I hope so. So the orb, I'm going to need to position this properly. So it looks like it's 1, 2, 3. Well, 1, 2, yeah, 3. 3 pixels away. From what? From the finger. So we'll do this. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to add. Well, I can just do this actually. Assets. Oh, it's okay. Never mind. We'll just do this. Move those. Delete this. Okay. Where's my orb? Where did my orb go? Did I not get the orb in that? Oh, I guess I had the orb commented out. Okay. Let's do it again. I guess I just need to do the 1 layer, but we'll remove this. Export. Okay. What is the export script you use from Asprite? I think you mentioned it long ago, but it escapes me. It's GASPI. Let me see. Yeah, I'll link it in the chat here. So those are the scripts that I use. I'm waiting for a meeting to start. Not good. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. So now we've got that. We need to add the ring left and the ring right in here. Do I want to do... I probably want to do this. Yeah. And then ring left. Get these offsets correct. Put that there. Put that there. Okay. Shoot. What do I want to do here? Animation player. So I'm actually going to want a different animation player for the orb because the orb is not going to change its animation when the run animation starts. So, or at least I don't think it's going to. So I'm going to do a different animation player for the orb and just have it repeating the same animation over and over again. We'll just call it idle. We'll start with 1 second as the duration and we'll modify it from there. Now we probably do want this orb to move up and down. So let's start with moving that up and down. So we'll do transform position, create that. We'll go to 0.5, insert key. And then we'll do -28. Nope, I already did that wrong. -30. And we got to loop that. That's actually probably too short. Let's just make it 2 seconds like the other one. Okay, perfect. So now we got to do the rings. And the first thing that I want to do with this is let's do orb ring. Let's just do a rotation first. And then we're going to do the same thing for the orb ring right. Rotation. Insert key. 360. What? Now, this is the part where I'm not sure if it's going to look good. We're going to try to animate the scale. Nope, don't link those, please. Maybe that's what I want. Can't really tell. I don't know if this is going to end up working the way that I want it to, but let's see. Okay, it kind of works, but I need to make it look like an actual ring. So one needs to go in front and one needs to go behind. So what I'm going to do is let's just take this left side and we're going to do ordering. Let me just see what happens if I do show behind parent. Yeah, there we go. But I want to change. Do I want to change that? I think I need to make this animation longer so it goes through more cycles. That is achieving the effect that I want, but I almost want it to do like 2 cycles. Let me see what that looks like in game before I go any further. Oh, it's not playing because I need to turn autoplay on. See, that looks pretty cool, right? Let's turn these, let's turn this editor only back on here. You're welcome, Matt. Looks kind of 3D, yeah, doesn't it? It looks bad in the editor, but I was hoping that it would look good in the game here. Look at that. Isn't that cool? It's a very, very simple effect, but I think it works great. But I think I want to, I might want to do 2. I don't know if you could see that well, but I might want to do 2 rings, and I also don't want it, like, the scaling to be in lockstep with the rotation because it looks like it's kind of wobbling around. So I think I want to do, like, yeah, what do I want to do here? I think I need to make the animation longer so I can do more flip cycles. So let's try making the animation longer instead. Shoot. Position, so this goes up, so this goes to -29, -30. So we're gonna need to make this part loop a little bit more. And then up here. So it should be moving up and down at the same rate. However, we're gonna take this rotation and move that all the way down. And then we're gonna take this rotation and move that all the way down as well. So now it's gonna rotate slower. And now with the scale here, what I can do is we want the scale here to go from -1 to 1 to -1. No, to 1. And then to -1 again. And let's just copy these keyframes. And we're going to paste them down here. So now we need to switch the, like, ordering. So let me do this. Ordering left, show behind parent. We're going to animate that. So that's going to show behind the parent. And then when it comes up here, we need to put show behind parent to false. Then here, show behind parent true, show behind parent false. And then we got to do the opposite for the other one here. Ordering right, visibility, show behind parent here, insert key on, insert key off, insert key on. Nope. So the highlighting is wrong too, which is going to be a little bit annoying, I think, but let's see. How do you do the screen shake? So typical camera screen shake involves doing noise. So you sample a noise texture for the random offset. And then what you do is you have a shake intensity that decays over time. So if you have like a max camera offset of 10 pixels or whatever, what you want to do is you want to sample a noise texture to determine what the offset direction is. And the reason you use a noise texture for that is because that provides a smoother random. Because if you use pure random, then the camera could go from 10 pixels top left offset right to 10 pixels bottom right offset in the next frame, and that creates a very jarring camera. So if you use a smooth random, it's less, it's not likely to go through those massive swings on a per frame basis. So you get a more gradual kind of like motion as it moves around to the different offset points. And then you have an intensity, which you have like a value, let's say your intensity is 1, that represents the camera having a max shake. And then you just decay that intensity each frame by some delta. And then as the intensity goes down to 0, the camera restabilizes, right? That's the general approach. I did have to make my own like camera shake canvas layer because a lot of my UI is not affected by the by the game camera. And so I just took those same principles for my canvas layer. I call it a shaky canvas layer, and I just shake a margin container with those same that same idea behind it. So I hope that answers your question. I'd be happy to go in more detail if you're interested, but I think that looks pretty good. Now, what happens if I add another ring here? Let's duplicate these. Orb, ring, alternate, left. I don't know if this is going to be too much, but we'll try it. And these are going to have to start with different parameters here. Hello, Diginanigans. Welcome. Pretty neat. You like it? Looking good. Thank you. I'm going to borrow this trick. It's a good trick. Yeah. It's a good trick. So I almost want to start these at 0 scale in the X, these alternate ones. And we're also going to start these both at rotation of 180. So it's halfway through. And then we basically need to redo this whole thing. So this is going to start from 180 to, I guess, well, let's see. Orb ring alternate left. Let's get the scaling in place first. So, yeah, the tricky thing is it starts at 0. So I actually probably want to shift this over like this, and then wait a minute, 0 to 1, -1, 1, 1. At 3.5, I want to do 1. Okay. And then we'll copy all of these. We're going to copy these keys, and we're going to paste those on this track as well. So this might be a little bit messy, but we're going to see. We'll figure it out, I suppose. Anyway, let's get the rotation working now as well. So the rotation here, create that. This is going to go 180 to, this is going to be 360 plus 180. That to me does not seem right, but let's just put the other one in and we'll evaluate from there. I can make this one rotate slower, actually. Like, there's nothing that requires me to make them exactly 360 rotations. Let's hide these ones. I could even make it go faster. So it's doing a 180-degree rotation. 180 plus 720. 900. Oh yeah, that looks good. And then I just need to get the rendering order correct. So orb ring left, let's do this. Visibility, show behind parent. We're going to do the right one showing behind the parent first. And then we'll keyframe that. Go behind parent on. So it's going to look, I mean, it looks a little bit messy in the editor, but let's see what it looks like in game. That's where it really counts, you know what I mean? I actually don't need to keep doing this. I can just load this scene. So the details of the second ring kind of get lost, but I still think it looks cool. I mean, the fact that it's a little bit muddy actually kind of makes it look a little bit more complex. What I may be able to do, and I'm going to try this, but it may not work, is I might be able to do, let me think. If I take these orb rings here, oh shoot, is this going to work? I may be able to take all these and add, oh no, I can't do a canvas group. Son of a biscuit. I was going to say I could outline all of these as part of a canvas group to preserve the outlines as they're being scaled, but the problem is this selectable character uses a canvas group, and so I can't have nested canvas groups. I could make it potentially so that, well, let me think. I mean, it might be fine. I mean, I could do some work to improve this, I think, but I think it looks okay. I don't know. What do you all think? We can also see what it looks like with just the one ring, or maybe just the faster ring too. So that's with both rings in place. I know you can't really see it that well, but this is what this is the size of it in game. So that's one, and we can get rid of, like, let's get rid of the slower rings. So we'll see how this one looks just by itself. You like it? Looks great? I keep doing that. I just need to run this one. So here's just with the faster ring. So that's just the faster ring. And then let's do one with just the slower ring. The other option too is I can make it probably a little bit less muddy by making a bigger outer ring here. So I could do, like, let's see. I could do this and then outline that. So I probably shouldn't have done that, but that's okay. Orb outer ring left. I'll paste that in here. Orb outer ring right. I think I will try this just to see. That's my outer right ring. Just do basically the same. And then here, outer ring left. What is that? Here. Get rid of that. I could try with a bigger ring. I think the problem is it might start clipping into her head a little bit, but we'll try it. Why not? That's what we're here for. So let's try it with a bigger outer ring and see if that makes a difference. And if not, then we'll just do one of the other options I presented there. Okay. Scripts, export layers. Could do a sub viewport. Yeah, sub viewport could work. Just the fast ring ammo. Yeah, we'll try that. We will try that. But let's get this in place first. Okay. Just make sure I'm staging that because I don't want to lose any of my progress here. Orb ring alternate left. So I'm going to need to... Ah, son of a biscuit. It just didn't even work either. Sometimes when I export with that script, it doesn't get all of the new... it doesn't get all the new art. Outer ring left, outer ring right. Okay, and then we're going to need to change these offsets here, which I'm not going to be able to see effectively until I put this back. Yeah, this may not look great, but let's see. What is that offset? -7, -7. Okay. Yeah, we'll see how it works. No, I don't like that. Nope. I'm not making a tragic mistake by doing this, am I? I don't like the outer ring. It's too big. Too big. So I think our options are the fast ring or both rings. Let me see. So let me look at both rings again. Try with the Elden Ring. Okay, so that's with both rings, and then the faster ring is that one, I believe. I keep doing this. I don't need to do that. Character select. Yeah, I think the fast ring looks good. I don't know, I'm kind of torn between both rings and just the fast ring. Actually, I wonder, let me go back here. I'm going to put the alternate behind these. Let's see if that makes a difference. Probably not, but let's see. Actually, you know what? I think I like that. You can kind of tell that there's two rings there. Yeah, I think I like that. Any thoughts? What do you think? You like that one, Emerson? What do you think about that monkey software? So it's both rings, but with the rendering order slightly changed. I think that looks cool. I think that looks cool. TK421 likes it. All of the above? Okay. I think I'm happy with this, I think. Yeah, I'm happy with this, so we'll go with that. Yeah, it's amazing what you can accomplish with just like some flat sprites in the animation player, and especially just modifying the render behind parent. If you ever need something to pass behind something, you can just flip that flag on and off in your animation, and it looks pretty good. So honestly, that worked out as well as I was hoping it would work. Like, it doesn't look perfect, obviously, because it gets crunched down in the low resolution, but the most important part about this, I think, is that it's giving the proper impression, right? Like, you can tell that this is an orb with some rings orbiting it, but it doesn't need to look like super crispy and fancy, I don't think. It just needs to give that impression, and I think it succeeds in that. So yeah. Looks nice. You always come up with ideas I never think about. Thank you. I don't think it's clear that there are 2 rings specifically, but I think it looks good. It's more like it's distorting it in a magical way. Yeah, something like that for sure. Mini Saturn in hands, yeah. Cool. All right, we'll go with that then. So the next thing to do is to get the run animation correct, or get a run animation in there. So add... Did I do all the animations here? Oh, I did. Okay, add priestess animations. Ah, it feels so good to commit some work. Feels so good. All right. So we've got the priestess animations now. We just need to do a run animation. So the orb is going to continue to be its own little thing. So that orb animation player is basically going to run no matter what the priestess animation is. So we've got the idle animation going. I don't know what a run animation is going to look like for her. It's probably going to look kind of janky actually, but we will go ahead and do it and we will see what happens. So new run, but I think you all know what time it is. We're an hour into the stream, so it's time for my customary 3-minute break. So I'm going to do that, and when I come back, we will definitely take a look at the run animation, and then after the run animation is done, we will start work on actually getting these configurable pieces of data working. So right now, for the Necromancer, for instance, oh, I didn't save this. Anyway, oh, what happened? The Necromancer resource didn't get saved. Anyway, so there's all this configurable data in here, like the starting artifacts and the starting card IDs. So I want to make this, none of this actually has any effect. So I want to make this data actually drive what happens in the game, because it's not currently accounted for. So again, each character is going to have different starting cards and different starting artifacts, and then they're going to have a different display name, obviously, and a different starting health. Oh, I need to add, let me do this before I forget. Character definition resource. We need to add starting blood as well. Public int starting blood. Get private set equals 10. Okay, we want to save that for sure. Build the game. So I'll be able to configure the starting blood as well, but none of this data is actually read anywhere, so we're going to need to implement that. But we're going to do the priestess run animation first. We'll get that integrated into the game, and then after that, we'll get all this stuff working here. So add starting blood to character definition resource. Okay. Cool. Residue 2. Yeah, I still don't know if I want to start players off with certain residue, because then it's just like, well, if residue only has one purpose, then you just unlock cell spaces immediately. And so at that point, I might as well just give the player more unlocked cells to start rather than starting residue. So yeah, because the residue, this is a problem that I need to fix as well. The residue currently only has one use, which is to increase your board size. And so I want to make it multi-use at some point. I just don't know what else it could be used for, right? I think it would be cool if she lifted her arms and floated her as her run animation. Oh, that would work. Maybe we'll try that. That's a good idea. Will different characters have passives or just different starting stats and cards? So they are going to have passives in the sense that they will have different starting artifacts. So rather than complicating my systems and adding like new passive abilities and everything, I was figuring that I would just do that through the artifact system. And so the priestess will probably start with some poison related artifact as well as poison related cards. The necromancer will start with minion related artifact or artifacts and minion cards. And that's going to be the way that I primarily differentiate the different characters from each other. And if I ever want to do a character that has like a unique passive, I would probably just give them an artifact that you can't acquire in game. Because I already have that passive system through the artifact system, right? And so I might as well just leverage that to differentiate my characters from each other. And like I said, in the case that I want to have a character that has a special passive, I could just give them an artifact that you literally can't loot in game as anyone else, right? So that's how I'm thinking about approaching it. It just fits into my system that I already have very nicely. And I think that will be enough to differentiate the characters from each other. But if it doesn't, I mean, we're going to play test it. So if everyone says, hey, the characters are too similar to each other, then I'll think about doing something a little bit more in depth to separate them from each other. Because I definitely think it could be cool to like say, oh, after each combat, you know, whatever, something. But anyway, give me 3 minutes. I'll be right back and we will continue on. Hello everyone, I'm back. Kind of like Loon from Expedition 33. I don't know the reference, I'm sorry to say. The only game that I play is Arc Raiders, as you all know. But anyway. So we gotta do a run animation. So let's go ahead and do that. So somebody said, so TK said it would be cool to do a floating animation. So let's see if we can actually get that done. How is this going to work? I think it's going to be a little bit tricky. Let me think. Let's start with the visuals here. Visibility. Not visibility. What am I doing? Transform position. Let's do this. We're going to need this to loop as well. Okay. Let me look at my character Necromancer. Let's see what we got going on here. Reset, run. Oh, this is one. Oh, this is a half a second. Oh, interesting. Okay. And Godot's going to crash. See ya. That's what I meant, the animation. Oh, I got you. I got you. Well, let's see what we can do with a 1 second or a half a second run animation. This may not work, but let's just see what we can do. Okay. Okay. Visuals. Create this. So we're going to want to put this like up, I guess. And we're also going to want to, this is going to be a little bit jittery because she's just going to transition into the run animation immediately and then exit the run animation immediately when reaching. So if I want to polish this, I'd have to have like a animation in where she rises up off the ground, then transitions into the looping animation, and then have an animation at the end where she returns to her position. But let's just focus on the loop part first, and we'll see how that works. I may be able to get away with doing something not super sophisticated. Don't tell anyone. And probably we'll want to rotate these visuals a little bit as well. Just a little bit forward. And then, so 0.25, let's take the torso here. Maybe not, maybe the dress part. I hope this works. Rotation. Started off at maybe negative, or let's do 5. And here. We'll just get everything moving and then we'll figure it out afterwards. Looks like she's just doing some kind of jig, but we'll get it working. I just want to get all these things keyframed and then we'll play around with it. Might need to change the position of the dress as well. Let's see. Position. I don't know if this is going to look weird or not. No, probably not. I want to do... Maybe I just go more... I lean more into the lean, maybe. That doesn't look terrible. I'll have to see how it looks in game, but... The head here probably needs to move a little bit as well. Let's see. Yeah, that might work. I don't know. Let's get this last one working. Arm left. Let's make this one 10. And then here. All of these are aligned to like the half-second mark. So like for the head, for instance, I could make this maybe quicker or slower, or I could even reverse them. That might work. Let's change all the rotations to cubic here. I think rotations generally look better when they're cubic. It's not exactly looking the best, but I think the head is probably... This head position probably shouldn't be moving, actually. What about using the animation player transitions? I could do that. Yeah, that might work. I think Peach and SMB2 is just 1 pixel of up and down movement for running. Yeah, I was thinking about doing something like that initially, but then there was a suggestion to make her like float. So I might try that. I mean, I am trying that, I guess. I wonder if I just move this position, this head position over by 1 pixel. And I think this right arm left, let's swap these over. Swap them around, I mean. What the heck? I think there's too much torso rotation. I mean, that looks decent, I suppose. We have to see what it looks like in game though. Because the in-game gives a much different impression versus the in-editor. So it's possible that this will just look like nothing in-game, and that would not be good. So I'm unfortunately just going to copy and paste this because I'm not using inheritance here. Which I guess I might be able to use inheritance on this, but let's just get this working. We'll just grab all these things, paste them here. We do need the node. Animation player. We don't have the walk stream player, so that's fine. Actually, we don't have any audio, so we'll just get rid of that. Okay, let's see what happens. Maybe make her bob up and down a bit too. Also, you could extend her arm out away from her body. Yeah, we'll try those things. We will try those things for sure. No, I don't want to play the tutorial. And we got an error. Object reference not set to instance of object. Oh, did I not set up my character scene properly? I did not. Scene. Character priestess. Why was that not set up correctly? Let's see. What in the heck? Why don't you like me anymore? Oh, did it? Oh, maybe it reset the necromancer. It did. I don't know why this didn't save. I must have accidentally undid it or something. But let's try that. I think that's it's probably just too fast. Let's see. Take these and let's just I don't know, grab all these, shift them over a little bit to like 0.5. That probably looks better. And then we wanted these visuals to go up and down as well, so let's instantiate that scene. Here comes the cat. Okay, let's try that. What? Can I help you? Come here. Come on. It's here. Come on. You don't get to meow and then go away when I pay attention to you. That's illegal. That's illegal. Come here. I brought him out of the depths. Ow! Somebody needs to trim your claws. Hello, Neozoid. Welcome back. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's see how this looks. I'm not sure. Select that character. Oh. Animation player.play. Anim reset. Animation player.seek 0f true. Private static read only anim reset. Reset. So I might want to do the same thing on the other player. It was never resetting the animation after going back to the idle, but I guess that's probably okay. Yeah, so she kind of snaps down. I think that one of the problems is that the animation is not that exaggerated. So that's kind of what I was saying. Like, I need to make it more exaggerated here, I think. As far as how I do that, I don't know. Could just mess with these rotations more. That doesn't look quite right either, though. Yeah. This is a tricky one. Maybe I shouldn't be rotating this at all. Maybe the other problem is maybe this dress part needs to have a different offset, which would be a little bit annoying. But I can fix it, I think. Oh, I'm not actually animating the dress at all in the idle animation. Okay, let's just change this offset then. So my offset, I think it's going to be better if I move this offset up. So it's like up at the waist here instead. And then the dress position by default needs to be there. So I keyframe that. I go to my idle animation. And then if I look at my run animation, this is going to be way off, but this rotation position, what is my default position for the dress now? Oh, reset, position -17, okay. So if I go to my run animation, dress position, -17. There is a little bit of position shifting here. Maybe I just don't do that anymore. Okay, that is probably going to fix some of the issues that I was having. Oh, that looks better already. Look at that. But I probably still want to rotate this dress a little bit different. This is going out. So yeah, maybe not so much there and more there. I mean, I could even do... Nope, that's too much. Okay, let's try that. So we exaggerated the animations a little bit. We changed the pivot point of the dress. So hopefully it's a little bit easier to control there. And we'll see what that looks. Looking pretty good. Yeah, I think it's looking better. I feel like too much rotation on the dress looks a bit too much like running currently. I think just showing things like her arms outstretched and her whole body bobbing up and down, a slight wind on the dress would really sell the floating. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that looks. Maybe too much rotation on the arms. The thing that we have to understand too is that it only takes like 1.5 seconds to get from one node to the next. So there's not a whole lot of space to show a lot of detail. See what I mean? It's like, it's not, it looks weird in the editor because there's a lot of loops going on, but there's only going to be like 2 loops maximum in the game. Now I could change that because right now I currently have like this speed scale stuff in here. Speed scale duration. Like I don't even know if I need this stuff. Like, what happens if I just get rid of this? That was good for the other Necromancer character, but this may not be necessary for this one. Maybe too much rotation on the arms. Oh, there we go. That might look all right. I wonder if I could do something instead of doing an animation. Well, I could try the animation transitions. I haven't really done anything with like animation blending or anything, but hey, that looks pretty good. So I removed the speed scale stuff. I think that was put in place to ensure like a certain number of loops from the other character, because I had the footstep sound on the other character, and so what I wanted to do is like do a certain number of animation loops to kind of sync up with the footsteps a little bit. But this now, it looks more like she's just getting into the floating animation and just floating over. Yeah, that looks pretty decent actually. That doesn't look too bad. What I might do is, instead of trying to reconfigure this whole animation, I might change this speed scale a little bit. Let's do like 1.2. We'll see what that looks like. I think it's fine now, pretty good. Yeah, I think it's getting there. I think maybe adding more up and down motion to her body floating is going to be a good idea. Yeah, actually, I don't like that either. I kind of like it just at the normal speed scale. And then we will do, like, let's do more... let's see, maybe we'll do a more exaggerated float animation here just to really sell that. Let's see, -3. Do a really, and we can maybe make it do a couple of iterations here. Oops, not right. Maybe I'll start it at -8. I'm gonna have to figure out probably how to do like animation transitions here. Actually, let's just put this halfway. Oh, I was trying to do more loops, I guess. Let's put this here. Why is this so small? See, that's 0.3, that's 0.6. Oh. No, that's too much. Okay. Maybe get rid of this, get rid of that. Nope, that doesn't look good either. Well, son of a biscuit. Maybe just the more exaggerated float will look okay. What is your plan for her, like gameplay build-wise? Poison. I think I'm going to make her poison. So she's going to start with poison cards. She'll start with a poison artifact. And that will be the case, at least initially. It's possible that I'll have a different build that maybe fits more thematically with her, but I already have like poison stuff that I can give her, so... I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly perfect, but I think it sells the idea well enough for now. I don't necessarily want to spend all day tweaking animations, but I think it looks good. I mean, it's not like I'm just throwing in the towel, but it could definitely be improved. I just think that it's probably okay for now. It just kind of looks like she just floats on over to the next node, which is kind of cool. Can you see what lifting her back arm up would look like? This one? this arm left here. Let me stage these changes. More outstretched during a run animation. Yeah, let's see. Like that? Or even more than that. Let's see. Let's see what it looks like. I think that looks okay. I think now, if it's going to be that exaggerated, it definitely needs some animation blending. I actually don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I like that. Why am I getting so many squids? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I think I liked the more subtle animation in place, but maybe I'll try that again if I can figure out like animation blending or something. Slightly less rotation looping during the animation. Yeah, we'll play around with it. We'll play around with it, but reload from disk. I think I'm more interested right now in figuring out if I can get like animation blending working. Oh, that doesn't look right. Wait, what happened? Oh gosh. Did I break something? No, it was just a result of doing that. Oops. Oh, it's because, yeah. Oh, you know what? That's another good point. I probably, before I need to transition into the run state, I probably should reset the animation. Okay, give me just 2 minutes real quick, okay? I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. Let's see. Looks too much. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a little bit too much. I will go back and change the animation. I think it's going to be... I think I can do a lot more with the animation if I figure out how to do like animation blending, because the problem with making a more exaggerated floating animation is that she just pops into the animation, does that animation over to the node, and then pops back to the reset or the idle animation. And that's just... I think that's kind of affecting my ability to see like how a more exaggerated float animation would work. So I'm going to figure out if I can do like animation blending, which I might need. I actually have no idea how to do this. Well, let's go on an adventure. Definitely would need the blending in place with her arm being in such a different position. Yeah. What about synergy with ritual cards? For the poison, I was thinking more like a toxicologist or plague doctor. Yeah, that's a good point. Ritual cards. Yeah, no, like whatever, like the main thing right now is I'm just trying to get the framework in place for differentiating the characters. And then as I add more characters, I'm definitely open to switching the themes around. So even if the priestess starts with poison, as I add more, like, the reason I don't necessarily want to do a ritual right now with her is because I don't think I have any artifacts in the game which are like specifically designed for ritual items. I could be wrong about that, but although I could give her a simp, I have the Acolyte card, so maybe that would work. But I'm totally, like, none of these things are set in stone. Like, I'm totally open to completely changing the starting build of one of the characters I do as the game gets more content added to it and as I have more to work with. So yeah, definitely okay with that. Thought it was a fire orb. I mean, it can be whatever kind of orb you want. It can be any kind of orb you want. All right, let's figure out how to do 2D animation blending in Godot. 2D animation blending Godot 4. All right. 2D animation blending in Godot 4 is primarily achieved using an animation tree node configured with Blend Space 2D connected to an animation player. Okay. Animation tree. Set tree root to animation node Blend Space 2D. Within the editor, create a 2D map to plot. Do I even want to read this AI summary? Walk left, blending mode, set the blend mode to continuous for smooth transitions, scripting, animation tree. Set the blend position based on player velocity. Well, I want to do that. I want to blend between two animations. Well, animation tree, blend space 2D, animation player, animation tree. Okay, so if I add... Did I commit everything? Hold on, let me just do this real quick. Priestess animations. Okay. Animation. Is there no longer an animation tree? See, the AI led me astray again. Oh, you know what? I actually think I disabled the animation tree because I kept accidentally adding it. Let me go to editor, manage editor features. Let's see. Yep, I disabled the animation tree. Good thing I remember that because I would have been lost for a while. Okay. Animation tree, tree root, animation blend space 2D, animation player. Okay, parameters, blend position, animation, what? Oh, animation tree. Add animation idle. Okay, so how do I... Did I do this wrong? Okay. Delete, delete, delete. Okay. Let's try it again. Add animation reset. Reset will be point 0. I don't know how to do this. Idle will be all the way over here. Add animation run. We'll put this all the way over here. Is that gonna work? Oh, no triangle exists. Okay. You have to pardon me. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, delete. Delete, delete, delete. Reset at 0, 0. No. Let's do reset up here. Idle is down here. Run is over here. Okay. So then I set this. This is idle. Why is that not working? Does it have to be playing? That seems like it's gonna work. I just want to know why it's not playing. Do we have any animation blend space gurus in the chat? Animation tree set parameters, blend space, blend position, velocity. Well, I mean, let's just try it, I guess. I'm going to try to make it like without blending first. I just want to see if I can get the animations to play with this. Like, does this need to be playing? I don't understand. No, it can't. Okay, so anyway. Reset is 1, 0. Okay, so let's just do, or 0, 1, I mean. So let's do this. Private, static, read-only, vector2, blend, space, reset is equal to new vector2, 0, 0, 1. Is that what I said it was? Yeah, 0, 1, and then... That's kind of confusing. Why are the... Oh well, doesn't matter. This is the idle, I think, and this is the run. So idle is 0, -1. Lens space run is equal to 1, 0. Okay. So now we need the animation tree. We'll just do this. Set, and then play run. Let's get rid of these. I don't know. Let's see what happens. It did not work. Turn off autoplay there. I'm missing something critical about this, I think, but we'll figure it out. It's always good to learn new skills, right? Keep. That didn't work. What am I missing? What am I missing? Animation tree. So what's kind of confusing to me is I turned this autoplay off on the reset animation, and it appears to be playing the idle animation. So it's playing the idle animation here, even though I turned the autoplay off. So that's obviously working, but it's not transitioning into the run when I do this. Animation tree set, parameters, blend space, blend position. Animation tree, blend space. Animation node, blend space 2D. So this is just the resource, right? Yeah, that's just the resource. Okay, well, there was documentation in here. Let's just take a look at this. Using animation tree. We're going to do some research here. Does not contain its own animations. Instead, it uses animations containing an animation player node. You create it. Okay. Can be used in both 2D and 3D scenes, blah, blah, blah. Creating a tree. Allows linear blending. Oh, maybe I only want blend space 1D. Linear blending between two animation nodes. Control the blend position in a 1D blend space to mix between animations. Let's see. Simplest connection to make is to connect to an animation node to output directly, which will just play back the animation. Okay. Here we go, blend space. Blend space 2D is a node to do advanced blending between two dimensions. Point representing animations are added to 2D space, and then position between them is controlled to determine the blending. It's assumed to have only one frame, is not expected to be played back using the timeline. So I can't use a reset animation, maybe. Root motion. Why is it not telling me how to set the blend space 2D position with code? Controlling from code. Oh, there's like a parameters thing. Hold on, let's see. Blend, oh, here we go. Parameters blend position. Oh. That's what I'm looking for. Wonder why the idle was, oh, because I have the idle, oh, because I set the blend position to here by default. I see. So whatever position is set in here is not just for testing, that's like the initial configuration as well. Okay, so what happens if I do this then? Oh, it's still snapping. Why is it not playing my animation in the editor though, so I can test it? Okay, let's try something a little bit different here. Let's do blend space 1D. Let me just make sure this is all configured correctly. Okay. Add animation, idle. Add animation, run. Okay. And then I take this point. Why can't I move the point? Hello? There we go. That seems to work. Okay, so maybe that will work. So let's set the blend position to -1 by default. What happens if I... Okay, so it doesn't start that animation until I open up the animation tree. Okay, cool. That makes sense. So we have blend position. This is just a float now. So I don't need this idle here. Or I don't need this reset, I mean. This is going to be a float. Let's do blend space idle -1. Float blend space 1. Run is 1. Blend position. Blend position. Okay, so I'm not tweening between those things. So what I should see is that it should still be snappy. Yeah, I need to tween. Yeah, exactly. So I need to tween between the blend positions. Tuned out for a second. Did you already try the blend where you just set it in the animation player? I don't... No, I didn't try that. I wasn't aware that was a thing. It's weird because it was playing before you initially set it up. Yeah. So I think I've got it. I think I've got it nailed down now. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do private tween, blend space tween, blend space tween dot kill if valid. Let's do private const string blend parameter blend position. And actually, is this a string name? Okay, so private static read only string name parameter blend position is equal to parameters slash blend position. Blend space tween is equal to create tween. Blend space tween at tween property, animation tree, blend space run. And we're going to tween to that after 0.2 seconds, I guess. What in the heck? Oh, I was lied to. Tweens don't accept string names, so private const string. We'll just do this, I guess. We'll get rid of animation.set here. Okay, we'll grab these, and then we're going to do the same here. Blend space idle. Okay, let's see what that does. If you click the animation button and manage transitions, you can set a number of seconds for transitions with no code necessary, but you may get nicer result with this approach, not sure. Interesting. Yeah, I could do that. I have a feeling the blend space is going to be a little bit more controllable because, let's see. So if I go to manage, edit transitions, blend times. I'm not sure, because if I need to interrupt the animation for whatever reason, I'm not sure if this is going to be as flexible as just canceling this tween and restarting it. I could be wrong. I don't have any experience with that, no code approach to the blending, so. Interesting, okay. So what I'll do is I'll do this. I need to time this a little bit better. So we go to private const float. Let's do blend transition time is equal to 0.2. We'll replace that here, blend transition time. This speed scale duration, why is that there? On travel started. What the heck? Signal. Yeah, so that's just the time that it takes. Play idle. Travel time. Between interval, travel time minus blend transition time. I have to make sure that this doesn't end up being less than 0. I actually probably don't even need this here. We could change the blend transition time to 0.1 maybe. That might be too short. Let's see what happens. Yeah, your was probably more configurable. I just thought the way I was suggesting might have been applicable if you wanted the solution without having to add logic per character. Yeah, that's a good idea. Honestly, like, I don't even know if I'll need this blend space for every character. It's just this character is weird because she floats and then lands. It seems to be good. Yeah, it might be a little bit too... I don't know. I might be approaching the case where the travel time is going to be too short. I mean, I suppose I don't need to make her like... Yeah, maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I'll just do... We'll just go back to play idle on travel ended. Oh, I still have this being played though. Oh. No, that's probably okay actually. Play idle. Could clamp it to a minimum. Yeah, I could do that. I actually don't know because it cuts off the float animation if I try to like make her land exactly back into the idle state when she lands. So maybe I'll just wait until she gets over here and then... Oh, that doesn't look right either. Maybe I do need to up the speed scale of this. Oh, that looks good. Maybe not. Okay, let's go back to what I was doing before. Let's do 0.15 as the blend transition time. mathf.clamp. Double min 0.1 max travel time. Actually, this can just be a min or mathf dot max. Okay. It's called we do a little experimenting, I guess. That doesn't look terrible. Does this speed skill not work with the animation tree? It might not. Let me see. I need to add some debug options to start as this character. Is that... I mean, that doesn't look terrible, I suppose. Maybe have the blend run to idle, run to idle a bit longer than idle to run blend. Run to idle a bit longer than idle to run. Yeah, that could work. So let's do... Okay, let's see what that does. I gotta click through all these menus every time. I don't know if that speed scale is working. I can't really tell. Yeah, something's wonky about this. That looks good, that end transition there. I think the problem is most of my nodes are super close to each other. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I don't think that looks bad. Yeah, I mean, that looks respectable. But I don't think that speed scale is actually working. That's the one thing. So this speed scale is definitely not working. So if I wanted it to go faster, I'd have to actually compress this. So anyway, let me commit, or not commit, but stage those. Let's compress this all down a little bit, I guess. Grab these, bring them over, then 0.75. I don't know, let's see what that does. We'll see what that does. No. I mean, I could just turn this down here, maybe. Oh, maybe that looks good. Let's try that. Can you double check if the speed scale is not working by setting to something ridiculous like 10x? Yeah, I can do that. I'm pretty sure it's not working though, but let's see. After I do this one. That looks decent. What I might do to be extra fancy too is I might make this orb, instead of having that orb parented to her, I might make the orb sort of like a separate scene and have it lerp to her position so it kind of like drags behind a little bit. That would be kind of cool. But anyway, let's try the speed scale. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's not working, but let's see. Yeah, it's not making any difference whatsoever. That's for sure. But I'm happy with this animation speed right here. I think this looks good. It's definitely presentable. And the blending works pretty well. At least reduces the jitteriness of like snapping to different animations by quite a lot. So I'm happy with that. I think it's fine. I could try exaggerating the float animation a bit more since you have the blends working. Yeah, I think so. I think that would be the next step for sure. But anyway, I'm happy with how this is going. I mean, she's turning out really good for sure. So yeah, and I'm learning new things as we go. Can't complain about that. Okay, but that is unfortunately or fortunately going to be the end of the stream for today. So we did like, what is that? 4 hours, 45 minutes of streaming today. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, but I'm gonna go take a little break. I'll probably continue this evening off of stream. But thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. Very much appreciate the help and helping me brainstorm, think through the animations and whatnot. Yeah, I think I'm very, very excited to continue working on these brand new features for Alchemortis. I think it's gonna be really cool. But yeah, you can wishlist Alchemortis on Steam if you are so inclined. I would appreciate that. Again, the current playtest build is live for Patreon members. So if you're interested, you can go to Patreon and you can subscribe to one of these tiers. As soon as you subscribe, you will get a Steam key sent to the email address that you use for Patreon, and you will get access to the playtest instantly from that. If you subscribe to the sponsored tier here, this is like a pre-purchase of Alchemortis, so I'm going to send you a Steam key when the game launches, and your name will be added to the in-game Alchemortis credits. So definitely consider doing that if you like. But you do not have to support on Patreon to play the playtest. The playtest will be open for everyone starting on Friday. So I will let you know when that goes live. Join the Discord so you don't miss it. That's linked in the description below as well. And yeah, I would say thanks again, everybody, for your support. It's greatly appreciated. And thank you all for your messages here. And yeah, I'll be back at it tomorrow at the usual time, 10 a.m. Eastern. I hope to see you there. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. All right, take care and bye-bye.